Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today where we're going to be talking about what sniper you should get as a very first sniper rifle. Because I often get people asking me about sniper rifles and kind of guns in general, and ask me, to make recommendations on what riffs they should buy first of all. Definitely don't buy a pistol as your first riff. I'm just going to drop that right there right now for you. So yeah, what sniper rifle should you get as your very first sniper rifle? Well, there's lots of really good choices out there if you want to get into the world of sniping. Some of them are definitely worth it. Others not so much, and I'm going to try and point you in the direction of the ones which are definitely worth it. Also at different kind of money amounts too. There's three rifles which I'm going to kind of like specifically highlight in this video for you today, and all of them have different benefits, different setbacks, and will provide you with different experiences. I think as well, as a sniper, it's probably dependent on your field as to whether or not you would want to get a sidearm at the same time. Some fields here in the UK, a requirement for you if you are sniping is that you carry a sidearm, or you have something which you can use to engage people within your MED, or your minimum engagement distance, which is usually between 25 and 30 meters. If you don't have a pistol or like an SMG or something, then you're not allowed to play with your sniper rifle. So if that is the case with your local sites, then I would say pick yourself up a STTI or an ASG Mark 23 pistol. They're super cheap, they're performant, they'll do what you need them to do, and also there's a ton of upgrades available for them in future which you can make them, be really good and perform even better when you decide that you do like sniping and want to carry it on as a play style. You can look to get something like, you could also look at getting like a Glock or an AAP or something like that, but the great thing about the Mark 23 is that it is so quiet. Like, straight out the box, it's super quiet, it will outrange most things out there as well, and it's just a fantastic gun. If you don't have to worry about a sidearm though, say you can run a sniper rifle without any other things, and you're happy with that, and the sights are like okay with that too, then in that case, I would recommend you, first of all, play with an M4. And that would just be like any M4 out there, but use it as if you were sniping. Now, this does maybe not make sense to you because M4s, they're very different to airsoft sniper rifles, but it's more about getting into the mindset of what it is like to play as a sniper. You're sitting further back, only fire the gun on semi and kind of maybe wait a little bit of time in between shots, because if you don't enjoy the game style, there is no point in you putting money into a gun to then play what, the only play style that you can, really, if you know what I mean. Yes, you know what I mean? It just makes sense to do that, and that's exactly what I did. I ran my M4 kind of like a snipey, like DMR type of thing, and I felt that I really enjoyed that game style, which is why then I started to invest in getting an actual sniper rifle to run with it and play with it. So if you have, played with an M4 or another type of rifle, and you've decided that, that kind of play style is for you and that you really enjoy it, then this information is perfect for you. If you haven't done that yet, I would highly recommend it. Of course, you can just go out and buy a sniper rifle and just play with it, but I would highly recommend, actually testing the playstyle out before you go, super ham and invest. And the very first sniper rifle I would recommend to everybody out there is this one here. It is the Well MBO3, and I've talked about this in quite a few of my videos. Whenever I talk about sniping, I usually kind of like come back to this, because this I bought as a little bit of an experiment for myself. I actually had my, what did I have? I had my SRS, I had my JG Barton as well, which I upgraded a lot, and I bought this purely out of curiosity to see that if this could, a cheapo out the box, this was £54 when I got it, sniper rifle could actually perform on par or provide a fun experience. And you know what? It actually did. Like, its FPS was pretty much where I wanted it to be out of the box. It has since come down a little bit, and that's going to be due to use the spring getting worn in a bit. It doesn't lift the heaviest BBs. When running this, I like to use 0.4s. Sometimes it can use 4.3s depending on the day, but generally speaking, 0.4s are the heaviest, most performant BBs you can run with this. And this rifle is completely stock. I've not changed the trigger, not changed the piston, the spring, the barrel, anything like that. This gun, I'm always leaving completely stock, unless I do that little HP upgrade I want to do, because that would be really fun. But this rifle is my kind of, my standard. I'm going to run this, see how it performs, and this thing is absolutely great. If I cock it now, it is super smooth. Action on there. Sometimes it doesn't go in all the way, and you need to give it a little bit of an extra nudge, just like that there. But, if you're cocking it properly, like that all the time, you're not going to run into that as an issue. And in terms of the trigger, it's not like there's no like play in it at all. It is just a solid, when you want to fire, the movement in the trigger just lets the trigger kind of like go and the shot goes out with it. I have managed to get kills at like 70 meters or so. It has taken a few shots, and I did end up having to like arc it because the hop wasn't as effective for me at that range. Like I couldn't get that extra hop that I needed to, so I felt arcing it was the best method. But this rifle here, the great thing about it is it's a performance sniper rifle out of the box, and once you learn the nuances of the rifle, once you learn how the rifle wants to perform, what it likes to do, then you're going to have so much fun with this, because part of the fun of playing with riffs is learning the personality of the riff and then and playing to its strengths, because you can't force every gun to play how you want to play. You need to adapt your play style to match the gun, and this is one which is great for that. So this is definitely like the first rifle I would recommend. £54. It gives you a real good sense of what you can do with a sniper. If you want to upgrade it, you can do. There's tons of VSR upgrade parts which are compatible with this. So, you know, if you wanted to drop hundreds of pounds into this sniper rifle, that's something which you can do. However, I wouldn't recommend you do that. I would instead recommend you buy a different rifle, and that rifle is the Novritch Ssg 10. Now, this is the same platform as the Well MB03. It is a VSR. It's made by Novritch, who you're probably all quite familiar with at the minute. He made tons of YouTube videos, and then he started to make rifles for us all to enjoy, which is very lovely. Thank you very much, Novritch. I appreciate it. And this rifle is by far what I found, and what, generally speaking, you know, like every kind of like person in the airsoft world has found to be the best, most cost-effective airsoft sniper rifle out of the box. Like, I must say that so far I haven't yet managed to skirmish this in the field yet. I have had a few shots of it on a test range, and it's been performing really nicely, but I personally haven't run this in the field yet myself. But from speaking to other YouTubers, from speaking to other, you know, just like people out in the field, having a little chat about their rifles and what they recommend, what they like, what they don't like, all of them have unanimously said that the SSG 10 is the most performant, most sniper rifle you can get for your money out there. And it makes sense to be fair. If you're coming into airsoft sniping and you want something that performs, that doesn't cost the earth, then the SSG 10 is a very good point to look at. The only note I would say is make sure that you pick up the Action Army 50 round VSR magazines like this here. And that's the exact same for the Well MB03 as well, because if you're starting sniping, you're going to want access to a lot of BBs. And, you know, the stock magazines take about 20 shots in them, and that's just not enough. And it's definitely not enough for me anyway. So make sure you get the Action Army 50 round magazines. The other great thing I love about this rifle is, again, it's a very smooth bolt operation. I love the feel of a VSR. I love the stock. I love the grip. I love the fact that it's super easy to cock it if you want to. And on the SSG 10, again, it's got a very, very nice responsive trigger. As soon as you want the shot to go, there's no play, you just pull the trigger and already you got a BB going down range, and that is fantastic. Now, the third and final rifle I'm going to talk to you about today is the most expensive one of them all, and it's the kind of rifle where you probably want to get it if you've already got an interest in that rifle, and it's not necessarily one I would recommend to somebody who's brand new to sniping, just because if you don't like the rifle, or if you don't like sniping, then you've spent a ton of money, and that's probably not going to be the most ideal situation for you. But if you've got money to burn, and you are certain that you're going to absolutely love airsoft sniping, then I would recommend for you the Silverback SRS. Now, the very special thing about this sniper rifle, which is completely different to the other ones, is it's a Bullpup sniper rifle. And what that means is the magazine goes in the back of the gun here, which means the barrel actually starts right about here. And because the barrel is starting here, instead of starting all the way down here, you can have the same length sniper rifle barrel, or the same performing rifle, in a much shorter like build. So as an example, if I get the SSG 10 here, the actual barrel for the SSG 10 starts roughly around where my finger is here. That's where the hop unit is, that's where the hop rubber is, that's where the magic happens. So if I move this to where the barrel starts on the SRS, about there. So you can see between these two just how much extra barrel I have got here, okay? See that? So all the way from here to here is additional barrel length, and that is roughly about 300 mil, so 30 centimeters of extra barrel. But then check this out. If I put their stocks together at the same point on my lap here, and then bring these down like this, you'll see that the VSR is actually longer than the SRS. So even though the SRS has a 30 centimeter longer barrel inside it, it is shorter than the VSR. And that is just absolutely insane. There are a lot of benefits to having a longer barrel in a shorter build just like that. I mean, you know, when I'm using this rifle here, it reaches out less than what the VSR does. So that means I can get in smaller places, tighter places. Yeah, I'm still going to have the performance of a rifle with a super long barrel, which VSRs just can't really contend with unless you have them like super insanely long. There are different benefits that you get from having a longer barrel, arguably accuracy, but certainly range, because the longer barrel allows you to use a heavier weight BB, which then allows you to import more energy into that BB and have it travel further when you're on the field. So yeah, the longer the barrel, the heavier weight you can use, the more range you'll have, and then technically you'll have more accuracy because you can more consistently get that range. You may not necessarily get more accuracy at like closer distances because, you know, I found even with like a 250, 220mm barrel in my AAP and my Mark 23, I'm still super accurate at, you know, decent ranges like 30 to 50 meters, but I always feel like more is more in this case. And hey, if you can have a longer barrel, why not? The only downside to the SRS is really the price, and this rifle without the scope, you're looking at about £600. There are a couple of optional upgrade parts which I would definitely recommend for this as well. The main one being the rotary hop unit, because if you don't have the rotary hop unit, which literally just allows you to make hop adjustments by turning a thing, you have to use 2 Allen keys in here, and I'm just not a big fan of that design. I feel like it's pretty naff. So there you go, that's the third rifle there. You've got the 54-pound starter rifle in the Well MBO3. You've then got the Novritch Ssg 10, which is right about the 280-pound mark. And finally, the Silverback SRS A1, which is, yeah, quite a big jump at £600. But then you do get a lot of gun for your money too. And you get that unique Bullpup design, which allows you to have super long barrels in such a short form factor. The other way that I have the SRS set up is with a barrel the same length as the VSR, but it comes to being shorter than my M4, and that is absolutely insane. Seriously, there'll be some times where I'll be running my M4 and then I'll switch to my SRS like during the day and it still feels like I'm running my M4. So I'll get to the front line and I'll be like, oh crap, I've got a sniper rifle. And then I just like shoot people and then everyone's happy. And I'm happy because I'm shooting people and I get on with the game. And with that being said, thank you all very much for watching this video. Huge shout out to my lovely patrons. You are beautiful. I love you all very much. Your support month on month really does mean the world to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Also, a huge shout out to the StayFreshShoe Airsoft community Discord. Tons of cool people in there, and if you want to make some Airsoft friends too, head to the Discord and yeah, make some friends, have a chat, talk about Airsoft and stuff. And with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.